Welcome back. Welcome back to Building $1 Million Business. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Hart. What if I told you you can build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Let's get all of our channels connected. Let's get Insti on here. Let's get Insti on here. Can we get Insti on there? Can we get, boom, there we go. We got Insti on there. We got the whole family in here. We're back better than ever, greater than ever, looking good. Man, come on, feeling good. We got that Monday energy. Let me give you some of that Monday energy, family. Let's get going. We're building $1 million business. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Hart, in some circles known as that healthcare guy. Army veteran, spent 2 tours overseas, one during 9/11, pivoted, found healthcare, spent over 15 years in healthcare, rising through the ranks, became a healthcare technology executive, was part of a technology team that spearheaded and sold a $750 million technology company back then in 2018. In 2023, I decided, you know what? Bet on yourself, Pat. Do your own thing. So I built my own business. I started paying myself. By the end of 2025, I was like, okay, this is dope, but I'm still not living in my purpose yet. I'm still not making the kind of impact that I want to make, right? So I decided, dude, build this thing in public. Build it in public. Give people the playbook. Help them understand the framework, the systems, the automations, the setup, some of the conversations, the collaborations, all the stuff that needs to happen to get to your $1 million bag. So that's what we're doing. We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. And I'm your host, and I'm happy to have you back. Happy Monday, family. What's today? April the 27th, 2026. We kicked this thing off January the 11th, 2026. Here we are. This is week 16 of a 52-week build, episode 76 already. So we've been super consistent about not only showing up, but also giving you the insight and the framework to help you reach your $1 million bag here in 2026. So we got 2 big goals. As always, I'll share it with you. First big goal is we're going to generate $1 million in revenue here in 2026. And honestly, everything that I've been sharing with you is building up to the build. Like, this is all part of the build. This is part of building that $1 million business. So we're going to generate $1 million this year in 2026. So by the end of the year, I gotta prove to you to show you exactly how that happened. The second big goal is we're building a 50,000 member ecosystem inside the newsletter. We got over 6,000 members already since we kicked this thing off, and it's steadily growing thanks to you. So here's the thing. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, come on, man, say less. Let's do it. There's so many different ways you can do it. There's links in the bio, there's QR codes, there's floating banners, or you can simply type newsletter and I'll make sure you personally have your invite as well. Let me pause here. We're going to be streaming across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram. As always, we got the whole family in one place. Drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I'll make sure to say hi and thank you. Already, I see people tapping in. I got Keith. I see you on TikTok. I see you, Sarah. I see you, TD. I see you, Jenny. The whole family's right there. I see you, Just Shine, right there on Instagram. Thanks for popping in. So we got LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, as well as Instagram. The whole family's in one place. Let me say this real quick before we kick this thing off, because this is episode 76. Man, I just came back from the eye doctor, so I had my eyes dilated. So right now, the lights in front of my face, the lights in front of my face right now are super bright. My little talking points are a little bit blurry. But like I told you, I was going to show up. I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to show up for myself. So we're going to get right into this thing. Let me get my second camera on here. Now, I know TikTok already, you see my second camera. But the rest of the feed, I don't see my second camera. There you go. Boom. The second camera's on there. Oh, I like that look as well. Man, y'all know why I love Mondays? Because you know on Mondays, boy, I'll be getting a little fresh cut on Mondays. There's nothing like having a fresh cut. There's nothing like a fresh cut, dude. I swear, dude, having a fresh cut, not only does it add to your confidence, but you also just feel like you just look a little bit better when you get that fresh do, right? So we got that fresh cut on Mondays. I get it every Monday. We get that fresh cut. So when y'all see me on Monday, I'm always my sharpest version on Mondays. Let's get into today. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. The whole family in one place. What are we doing, family? What are we doing? We're building $1 million business. And as always, I'm going to drop the heat. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to help you get to that next level. And we're going to do it this year. So if this is your first time tapping in, hey, thank you for tapping in. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Welcome back. I appreciate you, family. You guys have been rocking with me, showing love, and you know I'm going to do the same with you. I'm going to rock with you and show you love as well. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. We're 6,000 plus strong. We're growing at the 50,000. You need to be on the inside in order to get the frameworks, the insights, and the opportunity to get to that next level of your career success as well. Caribbean, thank you for popping in, family. First option, I see you, Ann, Sarah. Don't forget, invite other like-minded individuals to these lives. I do them every day, Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time. They're 30 minutes or less. Because this is episode 76, the other 75, you can find those on my YouTube page. I created a playlist called Building $1 Million Business. And or if you follow me on LinkedIn underneath the event section of my tab, you can find the other 75 as well. I promise you guys, I'm putting the finishing touches on my branding and visibility build, right? I told you I was going to give you the playbook so you too can get your $1 million build and do it here in 2026. The finishing touches. So hopefully by the end of this week, that'll be ready for you. I share with you. I give you a place where you can invest in yourself so you too can get your $1 million bag. Let's get into it. Episode 76. Don't forget, family, comment boxes are open. The chat boxes are open. I will work through any comments or chats that come in as I'm getting through my talking points. So let's get into this. Let me get my sounds. Where are my sound effects? Where is my sound effects? Get it. Where is that? So family, what are we talking about today? Boom. What are we talking about? Episode 76. Family, you're waiting again. Stop it. That's the title. That's the title. For real. No, for real talk. That's the title. Family, you're waiting again. Stop it. Why we keep doing that? I'm about to get right into this thing. Remember, the comment chat box is open. Let's get in episode 76. Family, you're waiting again. Stop it. Let me ask you something. Why are you waiting again? Let's get into that. Why are you waiting again? Listen, I'm not talking about when you first started and you had those jitters, so you kind of wanted to kind of delay some things, right? I'm not even talking about when you didn't know what to do, right? And you started delaying things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about right now, you're delaying your growth. You're delaying getting to that next level. Why, family? Tell me that. Why? Why are we doing that? Family, you got the experience. You got the clarity. You even got proof that you can execute at the next level. All right. You got proof. You showed it. You showed up for yourself. You can execute at the next level. So family, why are we hesitating? Why? Like that pause, that delay, that I'll get back to it later energy. I'm tired of that. You should be tired of that too. Listen, it came back again and I see it. So I'm going to call you out before you get complacent because we're building our $1 million bill. Family, we cannot get to that corner office. You cannot get to that next level of your success if you're afraid of getting a little bit uncomfortable, or if you're afraid of being a little bit visible, if you're afraid of having an opinion. Family, you're going to stay stuck exactly where you are and then wondering over the next 3 years, why you haven't got to that next level of your career success. So here's the message. Hesitation doesn't disappear as you grow. It doesn't. It only gets worse. It upgrades. Process that for a minute. Because if you want that next level of your career success, if you want that boardroom, if you want that $1 million playbook, you have to get uncomfortable knowing that from here on out, things are not going to get easier. They're just going to continue to amplify. They're going to multiply. What gets easier is how we learn how to deal with ourselves so we can process and move without hesitation. Man, come on now. Y'all know I'm going to give it to you. Thanks for tapping in, Lamar. I see you, Chris. Don't forget, tag a friend, tag a buddy, invite them to these lives. I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time. We're episode 76, week 16 of a 52-week build. We're building $1 million business. So here's the promise here. In this episode, we're going to get into something that catches people entirely off guard, right? And it's hesitation at the next level. I've seen it. I've been there. I've been in the boardrooms. I've personally made millions of dollars in the process of building my own career. So now what are we doing? We're building it in public. We're building $1 million business. The goal is to give you the tools, to give you the framework, to give you the insight, to give you the information that you see a lot of these other creators that they're doing online. You see that, listen, they're no smarter than you. They just figured out the system. There's a system to not only grow in wealth, but building visibility so you can obtain the things that you want to obtain in your life. So hesitation at the next level, it doesn't disappear. And we're not talking about beginners here, right? You can be a beginner and be here. I'm not even talking about where are we starting, right? I'm talking about what happens after you've already built your momentum. You got a little bit of momentum going on your side and you still find yourself slowing down. That's the hesitation. So by the end of this, you're going to understand three things, family. I'm going to share it with you. Why hesitation comes back when you've already grown, like you've grown up, but hesitation still shows up. How Higher stakes create new forms of delay, right? And then what to do when you catch yourself waiting again and again and again. Family, here's what I learned. Growth doesn't remove hesitation. It doesn't. That's not what happens. It changes what you hesitate on. Pause there. Let's pause this process because I stepped on some toes already. Some people feeling the type of way, and I get it. Listen, this is not even your live, but you feeling the type of way. I don't even understand why you're bringing that energy here. The goal is to help you get to the next level. Let me see. All right, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram. I see you figuring out the systems earlier makes us sound smart. Absolutely. I see you, Just Love. I see you. I can't even pronounce it, but I see you, Instagram. Thank you for popping in. Chitama, she said, figuring out the system earlier makes us sound smarter. Not only does it make you sound smarter, but it makes the process so much easier. Remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to build our $1 million bag, and we're doing it in 12 calendar months here. If you're building anything, it's going to take not only commitment to yourself, but we got to remove the hesitation and actually get moving. We got to get past that fear so we can get to our $1 million bag, right? And your systems is what helps you get that. So when you hear these creators, you hear these influencers, you hear these people on LinkedIn talking about, oh, well, you need a system, what you need a system. The only thing they're talking about is a playbook, a framework that allows you to show up consistently with removing the hesitation so you can get to your $1 million bag. There's a pattern, family. You need to catch it. I'm going to share it with you. Let me pause. Super Dave, Astray 77, Tina, Cal, Lamar, the whole family's there. Thank y'all for tapping in. Episode 76, week 16, 52-week build. I'm Patrick Hart. Let's get into it. Family, there's a pattern, right? Let me drink my water real quick. I started taking the tag off my water because I'm like, dude, why am I giving people love on branding? Like, they ain't paying me for that sponsorship. So I'm just going to drink water plain. Let's do this. There's a pattern, family, you need to catch. At the beginning, hesitation, it looks extremely obvious. Like, we all know at the beginning when you're hesitating on something, right? It's the fear of starting, right? We've been there, done that, right? The fear of starting, the fear of visibly being seen by your peers, your family. That fear, it creeps in. So you don't want to actually get going. You don't want to put yourself out there. The fear of failure, right? That's real. That's a real thing. Here's another thing that I'm going to add. It's not even my talking point. But did you know there's a thing called fear of success? Real talk. A lot of people hesitate from moving forward because they've already envisioned what their success is going to look like, but they're afraid to actually get going because now they risk being judged. They risk being evaluated. They risk being critiqued. They risk being visible so much so that other people start seeing them. And it makes you have to do something. Like, once you start building success, family, the way you move or who you used to be, you got to leave that version of yourself behind. And a lot of people, they're not ready for that. And I get it, because moving forward requires you to leave somebody else behind, right? It's decision making. So that's what we got to do. Thanks for tapping in, Tammy. I appreciate you. So we're talking about that fear of starting, fear of being seen, fear of failing, right? Fear of success. Family, you expect that. It comes with the territory. Listen, at that next level, though, when you get to that next level, whether you're mid-level professional, getting into that executive room, whether you're an entrepreneur, reaching six figures for the first time in your business, whether you're a small business owner and you're trying to scale past $1 million, whatever you happen to be, that next level, it doesn't get easier. You just learn how to manage because now you got processes and systems in place. So here's what it sounds like. This is the hesitation. Listen, I'm just going to repeat it back. What I be hearing when I be working with people, like, okay, here's what it sounds like. People start saying this. Oh, well, listen, I need to think this through just a little bit more, right? You know what that is? Hesitation, family. You're scared to make a decision. They also say something like this. Oh, I want to make sure this is exactly right before I put it out there. You know what that is, family? Hesitation. You're scared to be judged. Or you hear professionals say, oh, let me circle back on that thing, right? Or they'll say, I need to refine this first. You heard people say stuff like that? All it is hesitation. Family, it sounds responsible in the moment. It sounds like that's what you should be doing as that mid-level professional, as an entrepreneur, as an executive. You need to circle back. You need to refine things. I need to make sure things are right. I want to talk this through. All of that sounds responsible. Family, you know what that is? That's a trap. 100% it's a trap. Been there, done it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Been there, done it. Now you're trying to avoid starting. Now you're not avoiding starting. You're avoiding scaling. This is why a lot of people, you're afraid of success. Success will reveal some things about yourself, and it's going to make you uncomfortable, and it's going to make you learn some things about yourself that's going to have to get you dialed in. And a lot of people are not ready for that transformation yet. So that's why they're not successful. That's why they keep hesitating. That fear of success, that's a real thing. That fear of failure, that's a real thing. You also start avoiding making bigger moves with more visibility, moves with that have more pressure, that carries weight, more expectations. All that comes along when you're building something, whether you're building your brand, you're building your career, you're building your business. That all comes part of the territory when we're building this thing out. So hesitation, it disguises itself as precision, as strategy, as patience. You think, oh man, I'm supposed to be doing it. Like, I'm pausing because I need to learn a little bit more. I'm pausing because I need to make sure it's perfect. Come on, family, really? Where they do that at? Y'all know I'm going to ask you that. Underneath all of this, you know what's underneath all that? It's just the delay. So let's make sure we label that properly. When you're hesitating, that's all it is. You're afraid of something, and you got to get past that fear if you're going to get to the next level, right? So that's what we're doing. We're building out $1 million business. We're doing it in public. We're growing the newsletter to over 50,000. Today, we got over 6,000 plus. I could use your name, face on the inside. So make sure you sign up for that. If you haven't signed up for it, there's QR codes, there's links, there's floating banners, or simply type newsletter. I'll make sure you personally get your invite as well. We're building $1 million business. I'm putting the finishing touches on my brand and visibility playlist. I give it to you when it's ready, but that thing is super close. So I just want to put it out there. Let me get honest real quick. Let me get really, really honest. I think you make a one. Listen, I just came back from the doctor. My eyes are super dilated, but the show must go on. The show must go on. I told you I'm showing up for myself every single day. I'm showing up for you every single day. We're building $1 million business, and we can't just not show up just because we went to the eye doctor. No, that's not the thing. We're showing up, period. I had to check myself. There were moments where I knew exactly what I needed to do, like what needed to happen next. Y'all follow along with me. Let me know if this happened to you, right? You know exactly what you need to do, but you still don't move. You just pause. You know it. Let me know. Yeah, you're like, y'all know what you need to be doing, but for whatever reason, you just pause. You're afraid of doing that one thing that you know that's going to take you to the next level. You're afraid to get going. Nah. There were moments where I knew exactly what I needed to do, what needed to happen next, and I still didn't move. Not because I didn't know, because the stakes, they felt higher than what I was ready to deal with. And this is where a lot of people are not ready yet. Let's be honest with yourself right now. You're hesitating because you're afraid of success. You're hesitating because you're afraid of that transformation. You're hesitating because you know when you get to that next level, it's going to require a different version of yourself, and you haven't really got comfortable with who you are yet. Once you get uncomfortable with the version that you're becoming and lean into that, you're going to realize that hesitation doesn't start anymore. It disappears, because now we're stepping into who we're becoming. We're stepping into who we're meant to be. We're stepping into circles that we're supposed to be in. But we can only get there once we remove the hesitation. When those stakes feel higher, now people, when people are watching more, when the expectations they actually start getting bigger, when the outcomes they feel more important, man, I slowed down. I did the same thing that you're trying to do right now. I slowed down. More people are watching. I got more eyeballs on me. I got the expectations are bigger than ever. I got the family behind the scenes saying, dude, is this thing finna blow up or what? Right? You got people questioning whether or not this even makes sense in your life. You got people looking at you like, man, you still doing that thing? Really? How's that looking out for you? How's that working out for you? Right? So when all that pressure comes, you know what people start doing? They start hesitating. They start slowing down. And it hits differently once you finally realize this. So let me ask you something. This is what I had to ask myself. I had to ask myself something. Am I just thinking, or am I stalling? Come on now. Am I thinking, or am I stalling? Ask yourself this when you're building your $1 million career, when you're building angling for that corner office, when you're trying to get to that next level, when you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing that thing. Ask yourself, am I thinking or am I stalling? Which one is it, family? Because the question will expose you. It exposed me. Once you get to those higher levels, hesitation doesn't look like fear. That's not what it is. It looks like control. Yeah, I said it. Once you start scaling and get to a high level, it's no longer fear. It starts showing up as control. You're trying to manage every single detail of things, right? You're trying to avoid mistakes because you feel like you need to be a perfect person. You're trying to protect your momentum, all that going on. You know what people start calling this? Micromanaging. You've heard it before, right? But in doing all that, you slow down your momentum. Let me show you the shift. 3 simple things I'm about to share with you really quick. Thank y'all for tapping in. I can barely read some of these names in here. I just had my eyes dilated, but the show must go on. So I see you in the chat, family. I see people tapping in. If I can see your name clearly, like Nathaniel Viral, Orange D, Chanel, JR, all these people, you guys are tapping in. This is episode 76. Week 16 of a 52-week build. We're building out $1 million business. I'm your host, Patrick Hart, Army veteran, 6 years in the military, 2 tours overseas, part of a technology company, sold a $750 million technology company at the end of 2018, $750 million. That was your boy. I was in the room. So why am I doing this? I decided, you know what? Let's not hold on to information. Let's give people the playbook. Let's give them the framework. Let's give them the information so them too can get to your $1 million bag. Listen. Family, follow me. I don't care what channel you follow me on. Love is love. Support is support. But I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram, the whole family, right? And every single channel, you're going to have something slightly a little bit different, but you're still going to get the love as well, right? So let me show you the shift. I had to tighten this up again. Same principle, but a higher standard. 3 simple shifts here. 1, recognize hesitation faster. How do we do that? The moment you start delaying something already, the moment you start delay something, you already understand. That's your signal. You know it's a hesitation. If you understand it, but you don't do it, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? That's hesitation. Listen. Let's move past that. Just move. All right. Number 2, respect speed at every level. What are we talking about? Speed got you here. Speed will take you farther, right? Not reckless speed. I'm talking about decisive speed. There's a difference right there, right? So speed's going to take you farther. Number three, execute before you over-explain. What are we talking about? You don't need to think through everything. This is where that hesitation, that pause come into place for a lot of people. They think, man, I need to think about everything. It needs to be perfect. If my name is going to be on it, then I need to make sure come on, dude. You're preventing to your success. You're preventing yourself from being successful. You don't need to think through everything. You need to act, then adjust accordingly. Get the feedback, right, from the unugly, the middle phase of your build, right? Get that feedback so you can move with purpose, right? That rhythm actually matters. It matters, family. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank y'all for tapping in. I see you, homeschool mom. Thanks for tapping in. You've been showing tons of love, so I'm gonna give you love back. Hey, if y'all haven't followed homeschool mom, I don't even know what she does, but y'all want to follow her because she's been giving me a lot of love and energy. Rob Dunn, I see you, YouTube, for tapping in. Thanks, family. Listen, the shift changed everything for me because now I stopped letting higher stakes slow down my movement. I'm about to land this thing really quick. If y'all just tapping in, this is episode 76, week 16 of a 52-week build. We're building $1 million business. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter if you haven't tapped into that thing. Man, I've been working on it behind the scenes. We got a whole, we got a landing page that's going to be coming soon. We have a whole funnel system that we're building on the back end that's going to be coming soon. I'm gonna rely on you guys to give me some insight and some feedback because I've been working hard on that. Right? We got a whole 4-hour $1 million branding and visibility course design that I've been putting my finishing touches on. And what I'm bringing you is I'm bringing you all of my military experience. I'm bringing you all of my executive boardroom experience. I'm bringing you all of my entrepreneur experience. I'm putting it into one framework to help you build your $1 million business and do it in 12 consecutive months here in 2026. So let me land this baby really quick. Here's what this build is reinforcing for me. All right. Clarity gets you started. Discipline keeps you consistent. Focus sharpens your effort. But speed, family, when you have speed keeps the momentum alive. And your hesitation, that thing you've been hesitation, it kills it quietly. We don't want to hesitate when we're moving with purpose in our life. That's the difference right there. Some people grow, then slow down trying to protect it, while other people's grow and then they keep pressing forward no matter what. They got the pedal to the metal, the gas is down. Listen, family, when you're growing, when you're moving, you got momentum on your side. The question is, why stop the momentum? There wasn't flashing red lights. There's nothing but green signals right now. The green signal showing you love, saying go, go, go. Family, the only support you need is yourself and one other person. And why do I say that? Yourself, because internally you already know where you're going. That one other person provides validation from you. It doesn't even have to be a close friend. It doesn't even have to be a family member. It can be an online friend that's saying, you know what, I see you. I respect what you're doing. Keep giving that energy. I see that thing. That's all you need right there. Once you got that family, let's go. Those are green lights. Let's build this thing. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Don't hesitate on your build on getting to that next level just because there's a bump or just because the fear got in the way, just because you're afraid of success, just because you're afraid of what, validation from somebody else's family. Let's keep going. That's what separates you from everybody else, from getting that corner off, from getting that $1 million bag. Family, you're not confused. You're not stuck. You're just waiting again. Why are we doing it? Stop it. So here's where we're going to go next. Episode 77, we're going to get into overthinking, not the beginner hesitation overthinking. I'm talking about what happens when you start analyzing everything and then you slow yourself down without even realizing this. Family, this has been episode 76. I'm your host, Patrick Hart. Give me a like, give me a follow. Make sure you invite other like-minded individuals here to these lives every single day, noon Central Standard Time. Knock on wood, Lord's will. I get the breath, health, and my strength. I will be back same time, same energy tomorrow so we can get to our $1 million bag. Lastly, even though I have these topics and these talking points that I go through, I do realize there's other people out here that are also building their $1 million playbook. So if there's some things that's impacting you personally and or professionally that's preventing you from getting to that next level, and you feel like there's going to be a great live topic, make sure you slide in my DMs. And then if it makes sense, if it's one of those things that impacts a lot of people, I'll write a whole live around it, and then we'll have a discussion around it. And if you're not camera shy, you're not afraid of putting yourself out there, we may actually collaborate on live and we'll do it together anyway. But thank y'all for tapping in. Thank you, Homeschool. Man, Homeschool has been showing me love. I appreciate you. Let's go, family. Let's go. Man, I don't even know if I follow you or not, but I'm going to give you a follow after today because you've been giving me a tons of love, and I appreciate that, family. All right. So until then, tomorrow, let's keep getting it. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep hustling. Talk to you then, family.